While rummaging through my husband's bag, I discovered a bottle of women's lubricant. I didn't confront him or make a scene. Instead, I quietly replaced it with super glue. At 2 a.m., our new postpartum doula ended up in the ER. Ryan was showering in our bedroom. His phone kept vibrating incessantly in his bag, jolting me awake from my exhausted slumber. I pulled out the device and glanced at the screen. A 400 number spam call. After declining it, I started to put the phone back when my fingers brushed against something cold and smooth. A small bottle. My curiosity overpowered my better judgment. The pink container featured a coquettish anime girl posing suggestively, covered in Japanese text that screamed not for respectable use. My hands shook as I scanned the packaging with my phone's image search. The results froze my blood. High stimulation vaginal lubricant. Opened. Clearly used. Dark spots danced across my vision as if I'd been clubbed. I was still in my postpartum recovery period. This filth couldn't possibly be for me. Ryan, was he cheating? The thought stabbed through my chest like an ice pick. The shower still ran as I frantically unlocked his phone. Sweetheart wife remained pinned at the top of his messaging apps, filled with mundane conversations about work and household matters that offered zero red flags. I combed through TikTok, Instagram, hotel booking apps, even mobile games. Nothing seemed amiss. Maybe this was someone's sick joke? I desperately tried rationalizing when my trembling finger accidentally swiped to a folder labeled Work. Nestled among spreadsheets and project timelines sat a parenting app. My breath caught. Ryan was obsessive about organization. His apps were meticulously categorized. Why would childcare resources be hidden here? The bathroom door clicked open. My fingers trembled uncontrollably as I opened the messaging app. The chat logs froze the blood in my veins. On March 8th, I'd been rushed to the hospital with signs of miscarriage. Ryan stayed by my bedside all night. Waited 3 fucking months thinking we'd finally get some action. But she's completely useless. Get a room near the hospital tonight. I'm dying here. Forget the black stockings. Bring the nurse costume that's hot. May 20th. We'd taken maternity photos together. Ryan proposed again publicly, vowing to celebrate 520 days with me. Her fat jiggles when she cries. Makes me sick. Come stay with me tomorrow during my business trip. I need you so bad I could fucking die. September 10th found me in labor with 4 Pitocin dripping. Ryan wept harder than me, swearing he'd never put me through this again. Heard childbirth turns women into loose sacks. But you're still tight as ever. Send me some videos to tide me over. Can you meet me in the hospital restroom? I'm losing it. October 6th. Our anniversary. We'd taken family portraits. Ryan smiled, declaring us the perfect trio. The way you moaned in front of her today, the clueless cow just held our baby grinning at me. The latest message blinked frowny face, let's try something wild tonight. Bile rose in my throat. I clamped both hands over my mouth, fighting the urge to vomit. These vulgar words came from Ryan, my devoted husband who rushed home daily, handed over his paycheck, massaged my swollen ankles through pregnancy, who'd tearfully washed my underwear by hand, terrified I might overexert. During prenatal appointments, he'd lose sleep worrying. When I delivered our child, his sobs echoed louder than my labor cries. While other new mothers battled exhaustion, I slept soundly thanks to his meticulous preparations, top-tier postpartum care, nutrition plans, parenting books. He took every night shift, insisting I needed rest. Even my best friend claimed he was 1 in a million. So how could this paragon of husbands be sexting someone from our bathroom while I nursed his child? The man who fretted over my vitamin intake now craved risque nurse costumes? The same hands that gently applied stretch mark cream typed these crude demands? My wedding band felt suddenly heavy. Ryan's laughter from our nursery video monitor mingled with the violent churning in my gut. Reality slapped me hard across the face. Ryan had been cheating since my pregnancy. I wiped away tears and took a deep breath. No. This wasn't the time for crying. Tears solved nothing. I photographed every incriminating chat record with my phone. Then I replaced the lubricant with superglue. Though I didn't know who Ryan's affair partner was, tonight everything would be revealed. Just as I repositioned the items, the bathroom door swung open. Ryan emerged towel-drying his hair, pausing mid-step when he saw me sitting on the bed. "Honey, why are you still up so late?" His voice maintained its usual tenderness. Our eyes locked. Instantaneous physiological tears flooded my vision, emotions breaching containment. Ryan panicked at my tears, rushing to my side. "Sweetheart. What's wrong? Nightmare?" His thumb brushed my cheekbone. "Postpartum recovery requires rest, not tears. You'll develop chronic ailments." His touch felt genuine. Had I not seen those messages, I might have believed his concern real. Love's counterfeit could be this convincing. Red-rimmed eyes stared up at him, my voice trembling. "I dreamed you cheated." Ryan blinked, then chuckled softly, pulling me into his arms. "Silly. Dreams are always the opposite. Should have dreamed me dead instead." My nails bit into palms as I forced a playful tone. "Do you still love me, like this? Fat and ugly?" Ryan cradled my face, eyes worshipping. His lips pressed reverently to my forehead. "My wife will always be the world's most beautiful woman." His thumb traced my jawline. "Besides, I chased you for 10 years. Gave you my kidney. How could I not love you?" True. 10 years of pursuit. An organ shared. I'd sooner believe pigs could fly than Ryan's infidelity. Yet reality's thorns pierced my heart, bleeding me dry. Meeting his gaze unflinchingly, I enunciated each word. "If you ever cheat, could you die for me?" Micro-expressions flickered across his face before settling into calm. "I'd die before cheating." I finally smiled. "Ryan. So you said it yourself. People who betray true love deserve to die." Ryan smiled back. He reached out to tousle my hair, his tone light. "That's more like it. My honey looks prettiest when she smiles." Ryan brought me a steaming mug of milk, pressing it into my hands. "Drink up, sweetheart. It'll help you sleep." As I took a small sip, I set the mug down abruptly, wrinkling my nose. "Honey, I think the baby's crying. Could you check?" Without suspicion, Ryan turned toward the hallway. The moment he disappeared, I dumped the milk down the sink. Watching the white liquid swirl down the drain, I sneered. So this was why I'd been sleeping through the nights lately. When Ryan returned, his eyes flickered to the empty mug. A strange excitement flashed across his face. He sat beside me, squeezing my shoulder gently. "Sound asleep. Just like an angel. No need to worry." Nodding drowsily, I fake yawned. "Good. I'm exhausted too. Let's turn in." His smile widened as he clicked off the bedside lamp, plunging the room into darkness. I closed my eyes, steadying my breathing into sleep-like rhythm. At midnight, cool fingers patted my cheek. "Sweetheart?" Ryan's whisper hung in the dark. I kept my eyes shut, emitting soft snores. He waited interminably before slipping from bed with painstaking slowness, bare feet silent on hardwood. The moment his shadow vanished, I checked my phone. 1:07 a.m. Dedicated bastard. Meeting his mistress this late. I grabbed my cell and ghosted after him, pulse racing. Almost there. The evidence would soon be mine. But instead of heading downstairs, Ryan turned toward the nursery. My breath caught. Had my earlier test made him change plans? The answer came with a woman's throaty murmur from behind the closed door. "Thought you weren't coming tonight. Brave of you. What if she wakes up?" My heart seized, oxygen vanishing from my lungs. That's Emily's voice, our postpartum caregiver. Emily had been carefully selected by Ryan himself. She always wore simple cotton dresses with her hair in a low ponytail, her face free of makeup. Though around my age, Emily maintained professional boundaries by staying in her room whenever not caring for me or the baby, which made the current situation even more unfathomable. The rustling of clothes snapped me back to reality. Ryan's voice came out ragged, like a starved predator. "She's out cold. Come here, Emily. Let me touch you, I'm dying here." Emily's reply wavered with anxiety. "What if she finds out?" "I thought I heard her ask about affairs earlier." Ryan answered with infuriating confidence. "Relax. She trusts me completely. When I sneak into your bed every night, she just pities me for working late." "You're terrible." Emily's protest dissolved into breathy giggles. "Aren't you into that?" Their conversation became a rusty blade sawing through my chest. How dare they do this in our home? Beside our child? I nearly burst through the door with murderous rage. But cold reason held me back. "Must we try, there?" Emily's fearful whisper carried through the wall. "I prepped it with lube. It won't hurt." "But..." Ryan's temper flared. "I'm not complaining about your past partners. Can't you indulge one simple request? Maybe I should find someone more adventurous." "No. I'll do it." The mattress creaked as Emily repositioned herself. "Good girl. Relax, I'll help apply it." Excitement thickened Ryan's voice. Emily's whimper accompanied the squelch of an entire lubricant bottle being emptied. "It burns." Emily's scream pierced the house. She thrashed violently against the bedsheets. "Ryan, what did you use? Why is everything sticking?" But the chemical reaction had already fused them together in grotesque intimacy. The glue had already set. Ryan was panicking too, covering Emily's mouth. "Keep it down. Do you want the whole neighborhood to hear? I'm stuck too." His muffled whimpers carried through the bathroom. "I'm trying to think. Hot water maybe?" "Ah." Scalding. After 30 minutes of frantic attempts, they finally called 911. Paramedics loaded them onto stretchers in absurdly compromising positions. I watched from the balcony until the ambulance disappeared around the corner before returning to the nursery. Little Noah slept soundly in his crib, blissfully unaware. I traced his chubby cheek with trembling fingers. "Mommy will protect you," I whispered, glancing at the empty pink bottle on the dresser. Perfect. They'd used every last drop. Ryan and Emily returned the next evening, he waddling like a penguin, she shuffling sideways like a crab. I dug nails into my palms to stifle laughter. "Where were you both?" I feigned concern, eyes darting between their hunched forms. "I was worried sick." Ryan's neck flushed crimson. "Last-minute merger paperwork." His voice cracked. "Ran into Emily downstairs." I turned to Emily. The nanny's pallor matched our marble countertops. "And you? No call?" Her grandmother died," Ryan blurted. "Forgot to tell you." Emily nodded violently, knees trembling. "Don't trouble yourself with Noah." I waved airily. My parents wanted grandparent time. "But dinner. Kitchen's that way." My tone turned glacial. She shot Ryan a pleading look, but he was too busy adjusting his strained slacks. Hobbling past the stainless steel fridge, Emily resembled a wounded flamingo. I waited until microwave hummed before texting my divorce attorney, phase 1 complete. Every step seemed to cause excruciating pain. Honestly, I almost felt bad for her. Working like a mule all day, clucking like a hen at night, still cooking for me with work injuries. Pathetic. Pots clanged in the kitchen. Emily moved noticeably slower than usual. Ryan bit his lip hard, lowering himself onto the couch armrest. Agony twisted his features. Yet he stubbornly refused to make a sound. I pretended not to notice his discomfort, sliding my arms around his neck. I plopped onto his lap and wriggled provocatively. "Honey," I cooed. "With the baby gone, We finally get our alone time. His body turned rigid. Fingers clawed into the couch cushions until his knuckles bleached white. I ground my weight down deliberately. Ryan finally snapped. He shoved me away with such force that even he looked startled. I staggered, nearly falling. Panic flashed across his face. "Sweetheart, I didn't mean." Steadying myself, I let my gaze flick to the dark stain spreading across his pants. Fresh blood. My voice dripped concern. "Darling? What's wrong? Let me see." My hands moved toward his belt. He recoiled like he was scorched. Wrenching his injury. A strangled hiss escaped through clenched teeth. "Just, bathroom emergency." Clutching himself, he crab-walked toward the toilet with trembling thighs. I lounged on the sofa, savoring his hobbling retreat. They'd never know about the cameras I'd installed everywhere during their absence today. Every angle covered. Even the bathroom. On the surveillance feed, Ryan peeled back bandages to reveal raw, weeping flesh. His shaking hands produced ointment. The moment medicine touched skin, he jerked like electrocuted, silent screams contorting his face. Delicious satisfaction warmed my veins. Who knew superglue could cause such glorious damage? I wondered idly how Emily's more extensive injuries were faring. Nearly 30 minutes passed before Ryan emerged. His legs quivered with each step. I glanced up. All feigned sympathy. "Honey, are you really okay?" Ryan forced a weak smile. "I'm fine," he replied hoarsely. I smiled. "Great. Let's eat. I prepared a feast for you." Ryan froze completely when he saw the dining table. He stared at the spread of spicy crayfish, garlic scallops, and chili crab, his voice trembling. "Sweetheart, why so much seafood?" I cheerfully pushed them into their chairs. "You've both worked so hard taking care of me. I wanted to treat you properly." As I spoke, I served each of them a large shrimp. "Come on. Eat up. Don't be shy." Emily turned pale. She kept her head down, knuckles white around her chopsticks, unable to take a bite. Ryan's hands shook slightly as he peeled shells, beads of sweat forming on his forehead. I casually mentioned while eating my postpartum meal, "There's some juicy gossip in the neighborhood yesterday. Apparently a couple went too far and ended up stuck together in the ER. They say it's from our building too. How embarrassing. I wonder if they managed to separate." Ryan jerked, dropping his shrimp onto the table, pretending not to notice. I continued. "Honey, do you know who it was?" Ryan avoided eye contact, stammering. How would I know? Why aren't you eating? Feeling unwell?" They forced smiles and choked down the food, likely out of guilt. I happily ate my postpartum meals, thoroughly enjoying myself. The following days, I ordered them different takeouts: cake milk tea, fried chicken burgers, seafood feasts. Sichuan and Hunan cuisine, every meal left them looking queasy. Ryan's awkward gait became more pronounced. Emily could barely sit properly. On the third night, Emily finally snapped. In the guest room at midnight, she stood by the bed whispering fiercely, "Ryan, I can't take this anymore. I'm out. Transfer 1 million to my private account right now." Ryan frowned. "Are you insane? Why should I give you that much?" Emily sneered. "The doctor said my rectal nerve damage is permanent." She suddenly dropped her pants, revealing suppurating wounds under the light. The gruesome sight made him flinch. "If this gets worse, I might need a colostomy bag. Is 1 million too much to ask?" Her voice rose hysterically. "Or should I tell your wife about us?" Ryan glared venomously. You dare threaten me?" Emily stood her ground. "Not a threat, a transaction. You pay. I disappear. Otherwise," she left the implication hanging in the air. The room fell into deathly silence. Ryan's fists clenched and unclenched. Finally, He relented. Fine. I'll give you the money. But $1 million isn't small change. All my funds are with Sophia. I need time to liquidate assets. His voice carried a pleading note as he stalled. Leave first. I'll transfer the amount in a few days. Emily snorted coldly, clearly unconvinced. She pulled out a pre-prepared IOU from her bag and slapped it before Ryan. Words are wind. Sign this first. Ryan glanced at the document, his face darkening. What? 1% daily interest for late payment? This isn't loan sharking, it's daylight robbery. Then I'll go tell Sophia about our little arrangement right now. I'll sign. Ryan's voice strained through gritted teeth. I watched his trembling hand scrawl signatures across the paper, the corner of my mouth lifting slightly. Want the money? In your dreams. Returning to the bedroom, I swiftly divided the account funds. One portion went into fixed-term financial products. Another into an education fund under my child's name. Early next morning, Emily hurriedly packed her luggage with furtive movements, as if fearing to wake someone. When she dragged her suitcase to the doorway, I emerged leisurely from the bedroom. Emily, leaving so early? She kept her eyes downcast. Sophia, family emergency. I'm resigning. Nodding without inquiry. I transferred her final wages. This month's pay. Travel safely. Her fingers trembled as she avoided eye contact, seeming to wrestle with unspoken words before muttering thanks and fleeing. I've always maintained professional integrity regarding wages. But every outstanding debt will be settled. Back inside, Ryan still lay unconscious, his wound emitting putrid odors. These days, his frantic applications of ointment had increased. Midnight groans stifled in the bathroom, becoming routine. Entering the bathroom, I injected prepared capsaicin into his medicinal cream. Time for the main event. Replacing the tube, I returned to bed, awaiting the show. Soon Ryan stirred, dragging himself to the bathroom. He lowered his pants to tend the festering wound edged with blackened necrotic tissue. Cotton swabs dipped in medicated solution trembled in his grip as cold sweat beaded his forehead. TSK, how'd it get this bad? I murmured through the doorway, watching his agony unfold. I couldn't help but marvel. Ryan really had an iron will. He'd gritted his teeth through these past few days, proving himself one tough son of a bitch. Ryan took out the ointment, squeezed out a glob, and smeared it over his wound. The next second, his entire body froze. Then came a blood-curdling scream. I burst through the door, feigning panic. Honey, what's wrong? Ryan's face contorted grotesquely with pain, veins bulging across his forehead. He clawed frantically at his festering skin, blood spattering the floor. Get me to the hospital. Now, he roared. I widened my eyes in mock horror. What's happening? Sweetheart. Since when do hemorrhoids grow on your front side? He couldn't even muster a retort. Just kept scratching until his raw flesh glistened. Only when he passed out from the agony did I leisurely pull out my phone to call 911. Outside the ER, the doctor gave me a grave look. The necrosis has spread with secondary infection. We have two options: risky antibiotics that might kill him, or amputation to remove all necrotic tissue. I didn't blink. Chop it off. The doctor faltered. Perhaps you'd like to reconsider? This is such a crucial area. Snatching the consent form, I scrawled my signature with theatrical flourish. Ryan regained consciousness post-surgery. Pupils dilated from fading anesthesia. His gaze sharpened when he saw me. Sweetheart. I slammed the divorce papers onto his bedside table. Ryan. Let's get divorced. The kids and assets are mine. He blinked, panic flashing behind glassy eyes. Darling. What's this nonsense? We're happy. My laugh cut through his wheezing. So that's why you were glued to Emily in the courtyard. Screwing our nanny? Classy move, Ryan. His face drained of color. Please. She came onto me. Just once. I swear. Sobs racked his bandaged body as he clutched my sleeve. It was a momentary weakness. Every man makes mistakes. I shook him off like vermin. Sign. Don't embarrass yourself further. Tears dripped onto his hospital gown. You're my everything. He rasped with performative anguish. I'll die without you. When I remained stone-faced, he lunged for the documents, shredding them with frenzied desperation. Shredded paper fell like snowflakes onto the hospital bed. Ryan's eyes were bloodshot. His voice ragged, I won't divorce. I'd rather die than get divorced. He reached for my arm, but I sidestepped his grasp. His agitation intensified. Our baby's still so small. How could you rob him of his father? I swear I'll never. I've heard that before. I cut him off, forcibly lowering his oath-sworn right hand. The fragile hope in his eyes shattered as I continued. After all, your equipment's been permanently confiscated. Ryan seemed to finally comprehend. He yanked back the hospital sheet, staring at his groin. Confusion morphed into horror, then utter despair. An animalistic howl tore from his throat, and oh, this can't be. What have you done to me? His vacant stare suggested total collapse. I stated calmly. It was a surgical complication, the doctors can confirm. Though I must admit signing that consent form felt particularly satisfying. Sophia! He roared, thrashing against 4 tubes as he tried lunging at me, only to collapse pathetically onto the mattress. I slapped the duplicate divorce papers across his face. The bolded all assets awarded to wife text covered his eyes like a final insult. Dream on. Ryan's pupils dilated with manic fury. I'll drag this out forever. Without income? Which of us do you think will get custody? When I remained silent, he chuckled darkly, voice softening unnaturally. I'll forgive you. Darling, if you get yourself sewn up too. We'll be perfect equals again. Just like before. My blood turned to ice. This monster actually meant it. Face reality. He continued, feigning tenderness. You're stretched out and overweight after childbirth. No one else would want you. Transfer Emily that $1 million now. And we'll start fresh. A bitter laugh escaped me. Of course. Ryan added smugly. You'll obey my every word from now on. Wordlessly. I lifted the steaming kettle. Its scalding contents arced perfectly across his groin. Oops. I deadpanned. Clumsy me. His agonized shriek filled the room as he curled into a fetal position, face purpling with pain. I couldn't utter another word. The world finally fell silent. Ryan was right. If he refused, I truly couldn't easily get divorced. The legal process would be tedious and draining, especially since he'd undoubtedly fight me for custody of our son. Given this, I changed my mind. Becoming a widow might prove simpler and more permanent than divorce. I posted the compromising video of Ryan and Emily online. Within half an hour, reposts surged past 10,000, skyrocketing to the local trending list. Ryan's social annihilation was complete. Every personal detail got exposed. Friends severed ties. Even long-lost classmates sent condemning messages. His company swiftly fired him for damaging corporate image. Now we were both unemployed. Meanwhile, Ryan's hospital room became a viral sensation. Patients and visitors detoured daily to peer through his window, pointing and whispering. Some bold souls barged in to spit on him. Under this dual assault of public shaming and physical torment, Ryan's mental state deteriorated. He began smashing equipment, howling incessantly, forcing nurses to keep their distance. The hospital relocated him to an isolated single room. During his temporary absence, I installed a hidden camera facing his bed. Now I idly watch his manic episodes on my phone. Surprisingly therapeutic. His transaction records revealed I wasn't his only victim. This pointed to a vast criminal network. I started discreetly investigating mommy groups, quickly finding sisters with similar stories. Some suspected their husbands but lacked proof. Most, like me, had been oblivious, gratefully drinking sedative-laced milk nightly, praising their spouse's thoughtfulness. Our digging exposed Emily's maternity agency's dark truth. Behind their professional childcare facade, they systematically target new fathers. Trainees learn to appear rustic, frumpy low ponytails, oversized uniforms, shuffling footsteps to project wholesome simplicity. They deliberately avoid excessive contact with fathers, maintaining awkward reserve. This made many new mothers lower their guard. After all, who would expect plain nursing scrubs to conceal lacy lingerie? This hidden temptation under their wives' noses proved irresistible to many new fathers, who reveled in the forbidden thrill. Consequently, postpartum caregivers like Emily became highly sought after. They not only commanded premium salaries but also received generous bonuses from these fathers. To prevent further victims, we submitted our evidence to authorities. Police swiftly raided the agency, arresting multiple staff members. Unfortunately, Emily escaped during the operation. Security footage later showed Emily in Ryan's hospital room, masked except for her cold eyes. Several hulking tattooed men loomed behind her as Ryan lay weakened on the bed. When Emily removed her mask, Ryan's eyes blazed with hatred. "You bitch! This is all your fault. If you hadn't seduced me," Emily snorted derisively. "Did I force your pants off? Can't control your dick. So now it's my fault?" Ryan strained to reach the call button, but a thug twisted his arm backward. "Ack! Stop! Let's talk!" he screamed, sweat pouring down his face. "When are you paying what you owe?" Emily demanded. "I'm broke. Sophia took everything. She's the one who replaced the lube with glue. Go after her." Ryan desperately threw Sophia under the bus. Unmoved, Emily yanked Ryan's collar. "Think I'm stupid? No money today? You die here. I'll lure Sophia over. Make her pay," Ryan pleaded, malice twisting his features. The monitor clearly showed he wanted her dead. Minutes later, my phone rang. "I'll sign the divorce papers," Ryan said evenly. "Come to the hospital now." "On my way," I replied flatly. Watching the feed, I saw Ryan excitedly tell Emily, "Sophia's coming." Emily spat in his face. "Disgusting. Selling out your wife that easily." Ryan gritted his teeth. "She wronged me first. She ruined everything I had. Why should I protect her?" Half an hour later, Emily grew impatient. She slapped Ryan across the face. "Why hasn't she shown up? Are you both playing me?" Ryan's head snapped sideways, blood trickling from his lip as he stammered. "Traffic, I'll call her again." The phone rang once more. Ryan's voice shook with urgency this time. "Honey, where are you?" I lowered my voice, feigning panic. "The police just told me they tracked Emily's movements. She might come to the hospital. You need to stall her if she shows up. Don't let her escape." "What nonsense!" Ryan's protest died as Emily snatched the phone and smashed it against the floor. The device exploded into plastic shards. "Ryan! You're the rat who got me wanted." Emily's glare could have flayed skin. Ryan scrambled backward on the hospital bed, only to be shoved down by a bodyguard. The metal frame clanged violently as his body impacted the mattress. "It's Sophia's lies. I never MMPH." A sweat-stained sock silenced him. Emily flicked her wrist. "Teach him manners." Fists rained down like hailstones. Ryan curled into fetal position, useless against the pummeling. A sickening crack echoed, fresh ribs snapping. Tremors racked his body. Face purpling behind gagged screams reduced to animal whimpers. "Put your backs into it." Emily watched with grim satisfaction. Thud. 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 The beating intensified, each punch landing with wet thumps. Ryan's limbs flopped like a rag doll, consciousness flickering as violent tremors took over. Enough. Emily spat on his twitching form. Filthy cheaters deserve worse. Her exit collided with waiting police cuffs. Ryan returned to ER in critical condition. Doctors fought to repair multiple internal organ ruptures and excessive blood loss. Flatline monitors sang their shrill song as he flatlined. Final thoughts clinging to desperate hope of seeing me one last time. I went anyway. Ryan lay battered beyond recognition on the hospital bed, barely resembling his former self. His eyes suddenly lit up when he saw me enter, like the final flare of a dying candle. With great effort, he raised his hand toward me. Sophia, I love you. I remained rooted in place, a sardonic smile twisting my lips. Silently, I mouthed 3 words back at him: drop. Dead. He understood. The light in his eyes snuffed out instantly. His body convulsed violently as bright red blood gushed from his nose and mouth. The outstretched hand fell limp against the sheets. Ryan died with a single tear frozen at the corner of his eye. I felt absolutely nothing. Emily's story reached its conclusion too. Convicted on multiple charges including voluntary manslaughter and prostitution, she received the death penalty through combined sentencing. Standing outside the courthouse, I tilted my face toward the sky. The sunlight was blindingly bright. The road ahead stretched long before me,